Hello and welcome to the Stillbones Amputee Pod. Today here with the lovely Emma, and we're just going to talk over a couple of things about some how people might find interesting. Emma, thank you so much for coming back on.
Thank you.
I know you're passionate about this subject and you're really passionate about helping people with housing problems. Can you share a little bit about why that is?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I am really passionate about this. I think people that are in social housing, but also private properties, can go through some really, really tough times in terms of making their properties accessible. Private properties obviously have a lot, it's a lot trickier because to access the grants, it's often means tested. So we have helped in those circumstances, but the best success rate of helping has been, well, an OT is essential to all of this. An occupational therapist visit is key to all of this, and we are particularly good at really helping people in social housing, and that is my experience of it. And I share it because I think it can be a real shameful thing when you feel you can't provide your family with a properly accessible home or a decent home. And I just want to ensure people are encouraged and they hear that generally our team have all been where many of our people feel they are. So
Yeah.
yeah, Lee and I lived in we've lived in social housing since my son was born, and in some very, very nice places. Well, we were very happy with them anyway, extremely happy, just for a roof over our heads, to be honest. And we moved into a bungalow, and it was okay, but it was very small. My both my children were very young when we moved in there, and unfortunately, as they grew, we outgrew it. And Lee was literally stuck in our bedroom. He wasn't able, the wheelchair couldn't get in the lounge. The kids were sleeping in different rooms. And very sadly, we lived on the edge of fields as well, and it had become ridden with mice. So it was an
Oh gosh,
absolutely
yeah.
hideous place to live. This was during COVID as well. So many part of the reason is the maintenance wasn't being carried out as we needed to. There are all sorts of reasons, but it was becoming really dilapidated. Um, and we were in a bad spot. We had Lee recovering from operations, so you can imagine. I mean, it was you. I think anyone who's lived with mice in the house, I have to say, I still have a. Lee is
Yeah.
very good with mice. I am not. I'm fine with spiders, not mice. I have a real big thing with them, and living with them did nothing to help. So, so it was a fairly hideous time, and I was very ashamed of it, to tell you the truth. Really, really ashamed of it. And we pushed and pushed and pushed. We were told, I think we were waiting for a house for about 3 years. We were told that we were top on the list, kept going, kept going. Our housing officer was a godsend, absolute godsend. The house that I'm in now, which, to tell you the truth, it's the stuff dreams are made of, certainly for us. I'm sure other people would look and think, oh, all right, but we are chuffed. This has space for us. It gives us sanity back and self-esteem back, and that's what's
Yeah.
really important about this. But we only were given this place because of our housing officer and our OT. The people who were renting this
Wow.
house to
Okay.
us actually told us it was not appropriate for our family because it had stairs. Well, our OT came to visit us and said, well, we can put stair lift in. So whenever,
Yeah.
my message on that is, don't take no for an answer. And if you feel that
Okay.
is the right house for you, it was really important we stayed in our village that we had for all sorts of reasons. We didn't want to leave it. And our OT, I gave up, but Lee didn't. We rang the MP, who we had been on, as you can imagine, we had been emailing a few times.
Yeah.
And we just kept in contact. And the MP actually phoned the OT and the housing, and they held off until the OT came to visit it, and we were moved in.
Wow.
So it's just a message to say, don't give up. And I want to ensure every family, it's not always as easy as that, because some of the MPs don't listen and they don't do what they should. But you're not alone. You're not alone. You've got us to help you through it. And if you have any situations like that going on, private or social housing, please let us know. We can't solve it all, unfortunately. We just can't. I wish I could, but we will certainly try our best. And sometimes they need a lawyer to intervene as well, so we can figure that bit out as well.
Yeah, I know you were saying that when you were going through that, you felt quite a lot of shame that you know, were in that situation. If people are feeling the same and don't feel comfortable to us, or you know, looking for specific help, where can they? Have you got any tips for them to help sort the situation?
Absolutely. To tell you the truth, guys, I really didn't speak very openly about it at all. People knew I was waiting for a house, but not the state of things had gone. I mean, we were literally all in one bed because the mice were just everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It was just hideous. So if you can't, if you don't want, and I totally respect that, my top aims, write to your MP. I think we've got a draft of a letter to an MP on our website. On our blogs, if you look in this housing and benefits section, it will be there. On our knowledge centre, it will be in there. And write to your MP, write to your councillors, get a good relationship with your housing officer and also your OT. It's important. It's a real fine line between hounding them and making them feel and being hounding them and being perfect. You've got to really stay within that line. Don't get me wrong, I feel if you're not got the right house, you should call them every day. However, I think once a week, as things are progressing, just say, oh, how are things doing? Are you all right? Always check in with them. Are you okay? Make them your friends. Do you know what I mean? Same with the MP. If an email doesn't work, we had sent an email, they hadn't responded, so we phoned. We said, right, can you please help? Because this is our last chance. The house is going to go. And also, sorry, your MP, your councillors, your housing officer, your what did I say? Occupational therapist. If none of those are working, we often intervene and email the CEO of the housing association directly. Depends on the situation, but we just do it. And then the other thing, that if you need any other advice, there's Shelter. Shelter are superb. Shelter charity who generally work with homeless people, but they are really superb as well. So if you want to go to someone very separate to us, I completely respect that. You just make sure you seek some help, because these are tough. They can be overwhelming, and they're designed to knock you down so you don't challenge it. But there is help out there.
That's amazing. And I think I would just like to add, even before I was more involved with Stillbones, and I got in touch with the team, reason, I never felt judged by anyone.
Good.
Everyone is very welcoming, very open. They will just through things with no judgment at all. So if you are feeling that shame and worried about contacting us, please don't. That's not what we're in it for, so that's really important. And it was really just something I felt as well when I got in touch. So yeah, that was amazing
to hear that, Vicky. And I think what people can worry about is that we're such a close community, but no one would know some of the things that we're dealing with families for. It's tight confidentiality around it all.
Absolutely. Yeah, which is so important, isn't it? People to know and feel safe talking to us about things, which is great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's really important. And just one last question that we're asking all of our guests on our podcast, is what's one thing that you are grateful for today?
Oh, grateful for. I tell you what, my amazing team. Absolutely superstar team. Lovely. I'm telling you, they're a joy to work with, great fun, and we make great progress together, I tell you. We've got a lot more to do as well, but it's good fun working with them all. So yeah, big thank you and big shout out to all of them.
Thank you so much, Emma. That was great having a chat with you. Until next time.
Vicky. Lovely, thank you.